It's now 100 days of fasting. Since fasting started, I lost 64 kilos and in total 82.1 kilos. At 238.8 kilos, I was looking at the wheelchair in my music room and thought, is this the end? I don't want to die. What about my family? I decided to do intermittent fasting and I lost 18.1 kilos up to the 8th of August 2022. After 50 days, I lost 40 kilos and I decided to persist and go on with the fasting. Mentally, I was still strong and I could see myself doing the next 50 days. Physiologically, there were also changes now. I woke up in the morning with an acid taste in my mouth, but it's not heartburn. I developed a tasting disorder, dysgeusia, due to deficiencies in some vitamins and minerals. I was still figuring out what they should be at that stage. My daily vitamin regimen was only established much later in the fast. That's a story for another day. I was also deprived of sleep due to the fact that the dry mouth now intensified. Day 53, I was down 45 kilos. Day 63, I was down 48 kilos. I also observed that the rate of weight loss was now declining. I analyzed the actual data displayed on screen and concluded this statement was incorrect. After the initial rapid weight loss, my weight declined at the same rate over the next 80 days. To understand why the rate stays the same, we should understand the basic principle of how our body produces energy during fasting. When you fast or don't eat for a while, your body has to find other energy sources to keep going. It does this by replenishing its glycogen stores, like little energy packs stored in your liver, kidney and muscles. In order to do this, your body goes through a process called gluconeogenesis. It takes fats and proteins from your body and turns them into glucose, which can be stored as glycogen for future use. In the first step, lipolysis, an enzyme breaks down the bonds between the fatty acids and the glycerol in the fat cells, freeing up the fatty acids. These acids then go into the bloodstream and travel to the cells in the body. In the second step, beta oxidation, the fatty acids are broken down further into a molecule called acetyl-CoA. These molecules are then used by the body to generate energy. So, to sum it up, when your body needs to use fat for energy, it first breaks it down into fatty acids and then breaks those down even further into molecules that can generate energy. So even when you're not eating, your body is still working to ensure it has enough energy to keep you going through the process of gluconeogenesis. There is something else I want to cover, which I believe is important for you to observe yourself when you fast. And that is that you will feel that your fat has different viscosities. When it comes to the fat in our bodies, there are two main types we need to know about: visceral fat and subcutaneous fat. Understanding the differences between these two is super important for our overall health and wellness. So first up, we've got visceral fat, what we call the beer belly. This is the fat stored within the abdominal cavity surrounding our internal organs like the liver and the intestines. Unfortunately, it's not easily visible or palpable, which makes it tricky to detect and keep track of. But here's the thing. It's been linked to some pretty serious health problems, like an increased risk of cardiovascular disease, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and much more. Subcutaneous fat is stored just under the skin, making up more than 90% of the fat in the body. While it's great to have some fat as an energy reserve, having too much can still cause health problems and affect our body shape. Okay, let's quickly talk about the consistency of subcutaneous fat. Basically, it can be divided into three types: soft, firm and hard. Soft subcutaneous fat is, well, soft. It's got a fluid consistency and is easy to compress. You might hear people call it flabby or jiggly fat. And here's something interesting. When we're fasting and trying to lose weight, our body sheds fat in the reverse order that it was gained. Hard fat turns firm, firm fat turns soft and jiggly, and finally it's lost. I experienced this firsthand during my fast, and I find that when that fat turns jiggly, it is the next to go. As I shared with you in video 1, nothing ever goes according to the plan, and there's always a twist in the story. So on day 74, I had a doctor's appointment with a long-time friend and also my doctor. We did a lot of tests to make sure that I'm still okay. We then did the wrong thing by communicating over WhatsApp, and that communication broke down. I then felt that he turned his back on me because he's afraid of what I'm doing and he don't want to get involved. And the first time since I started to fast, I had no medical backup. I felt medically isolated, and it was a very, very bad period for me during the fast. I was down 53 kilos after 74 days of fast. And then another twist. My sense for sour also changed. I could no longer drink my soda water and my water with lemon. I'm now down to plain water only. If I took a sip of sparkling water, it's like carbonated white vinegar I put in my mouth. We stay in a rather quiet neighborhood, and on day 78, the last day of my daughter's school career, there was a traffic jam. And I talk about the traffic jam is unheard of in the streets we travel. We were waiting our turn to pass the accident scene. A lady passed the robot in front of us on crutches, but she couldn't afford crutches. She had one good crutch and one very bad device she made a crutch of. So something in my inner being just said, help her. So I turned off the road. She was extremely grateful for the gift. Something in my inner being just said, you're done. You will not walk with crutches again. And since that day, I no longer walk with crutches. I got to day 90 and I was down 60.5 kilograms. And then I knew I could make 100 days. I can persist in carrying on, and I will make decisions when I get to day 100. When I reached day 100, I was absolutely ecstatic because the goal I set to reach, I did. Instead of telling you the story, I would rather read to you my diary entry for day 100. I wrote, it's now 100 days of fasting. Since fasting started, I lost 64 kilos and in total 82.1 kilos. Blood sugar levels are now 3.9 micromole per liter. My blood pressure is 116/68 and my pulse is 62 beats per minute. I went through lots of emotions the last week as the reality of what I am doing hit me like a ton of bricks. There is a lot of attention from doubters as I am progressing. I am still laser focused on what I am doing, but I rejected all outside pressure to perform. I will do this on my terms. The YouTube channel will only be launched in December. In the next video, I will share with you the journey from day 101 till day 150. Please like and subscribe, and let's do this together. And remember, it is your life. Live it.